Suri. We also got Sprite. Right now showing off the guitars on Caspian right now. That also shows some hope for Caspian's future as a character, because Luna played Caspian at PCX, Sprite does fall out of that first stock, but also we had Meg D play Caspian pretty nicely in that last set, and Sprite played Caspian right here. If you're a Caspian player, I'd honestly, there's a pretty good future ahead of you. Got a lot of...
Shout out to ArcJK.
Yeah, a lot of people repping the Caspian representation.
It's
along
the dodge
with
in.
that,
Caspian Sig's very strong and very safe. That Gauntlet N-Sig, you can almost just put out another hitbox similar to Sidrican and N-Sig in the same way. Two hitboxes at once that cover two different things. This game now even.
PIER on guitars is also very interesting because ever since PIER picked up guitars for the past, I want to say like during summers or autumns, PIER is some of the most innovative and creative guitars I've seen in a while. I know we gave Guichbo a lot of well-earned praise about just how jaw-dropping his gameplay is, but PIER connects attacks I never even knew you could connect. PIER throws out gravity candles that make no sense, but then they work so well. There's something so unpredictable and creative about the way that PIER is able to string attacks together, especially on guitars, and also a little bit of blaster. If you've taken a peek at his Lucian gameplay, it's looking pretty spicy.
Yeah, PIER very adept at a lot of different weapons. I've seen him play pretty much everything at this point. I remember there was a tournament he went full unarmed, and but his guitars, probably one of his better weapons. Guitars and axe are what I think of when I think of PIER. He's always been very adept at them. Sprite making this stock count should be dead at this point, but if he could just tack on some extra damage, he could turn this into a duel game. One Caspian Sig. Yep, it's over. He's got a stock lead. That's crazy. He was so far down, and against Ember guitars struggle to kill, absolutely, but an even game off that is still very impressive with Sprite. He's gonna get the weapon too. Spawns in late enough that PIER can't cover it. Sprite making this game very doable.
Also, both of these players choosing to switch on the guitars, which we gave them a lot of praise for. PIER having a very convincing argument off stage right here. Can Sprite make it back? All these dares. How many dares has that been? That was probably 5 separate dares. Sprite still just barely manages back, but you never know. His heart rate might be racing a little bit after that. We're hoping if he can still concentrate. We also do see a weapon there. So once enough damage is being dealt onto any of them, we do see PIER picking up the bow for the KO. A ground pound's not going to be enough. Now a little weapon throw. Burns the dodge, so has to use a Sarah instead of a daylight ground pound. Now back onto guitars, but Sprite is able to make these stocks last when they need to count. Sprite unarmed. How long is he able to make this last? Is this 1-0? Is this 1? Is this 1-0 or is this a 1?
How is Caspian still alive? I can't believe going back he survived that bow ground pound.
Jesus!
Sprite just makes these stock last forever. He could win this game. That would just be insane.
My
the D-Sig hitting.
God.
PIER must be sweating bullets right now. Just wants this kill, but he's got Ember guitars. It's very difficult trying to throw him, hoping for a weapon to spawn so we can pick up bow and maybe hit an N-Sig. Bow not adept at killing, but better than guitars. Almost hits that recovery that might have killed Ember on 4 defense. Still not
my God, how? And PIER is chasing. You know, a recovery or a nair is so close. The end is not. No.
That's a brutal way to lose the game.
Game?
The announcer, I've never heard that. Yes, that's
question mark? Agumi?
BMG is so toxic. They put that in. That's so. Real talk. I love the addition of that because whenever I cheese someone at the end of the game and just some dumb sig hits them and they're really mad about it and it goes GG, and I'm just thinking in my head how mad they must be that the announcer just said GG, shake my hand. Sprite almost won that game, looking very doable. Something I didn't know that Sprite was so adept at was that he can just drag stocks out forever. Very tough for PIER's Ember to kill him. Considered switching characters, I believe, but looking to stay on the Ember, hopefully and be a bit more adept at killing so the game doesn't look so close, but Sprite almost made that comeback.
That was definitely a big surprise for me too. And that is also looking pretty promising, but it is
3, 2, 1,
it does make me a little concerned to see Sprite leaving Miami Dome back on the map picks, which PIER, promptly goes to. I will say, Whoa, God, that was close.
It's beautiful seeing that. I go for
both
those.
of these, the chicken play. Yeah, you got to play chicken in the game sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say out of a drip contest, both of these guys wins the whole tournament. Out of the drip contest, both of these players so far have looked the best. This is the best looking game that we have had. The most fashionable game that we have had.
Absolutely. Not a huge fan of this Ember setup, but the Caspian definitely.
The sunset colors are cool though. You gotta say, sunset is so underused. It is so pretty and nobody uses it.
I just
slept on.
Personally a huge fan of Rat Ember, which most people don't like. I'd love to see some Rat Ember out. Catches the dodge.
Pierre, are you watching the stream? Are you willing to spend another $6? A-Surge will be your best friend forever.
Yeah, I'm sure he would really love that. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's in a chest too, so I imagine it's not in rotation right now. But still, this game surprisingly close. A fair bit slower than the previous two games, but seems to be working in Sprite's favor. That he's able to just stall this one out a little bit and catch up the damage lead that Pierre always seems to take early. A nice read on the recovery high with an unarmed Sarah, though, will give Pierre the lead for the moment.
Yeah, when the game is slowing down, it is almost always in the favor of the person who's losing, and since Sprite was just barely had to let that first game go from the grips of their hands, is actually holding up this first game pretty well. And oh no, that would have been huge. Pierre is able to get a good few hits off of that whiff, especially off stage. Pierre has gotten the better of a lot of these offstage engagements, and although Sprite has been knocked off stage, or their only choice would be to stay off stage for a little bit longer, whether or not that just because of the consequence of the game, or that what Pierre is actively doing, trying to push Sprite off stage. Pierre is winning a lot of these offstage engagements, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Sprite to try and keep any stage control, but Ember might be a better character than Caspian for stage control, as we're going to see Pierre win yet another off-stage engagement. And what?
The recovery off the top, he thought he could clip him, and instead, Sprite.
Yeah, you kind of have to give that up for him.
Yeah, I mean,
what?
The fact that he was able to live off that is pretty impressive. I thought that would kill for sure. Pierre just wanted to clip and make it even, but now in a pretty bad situation. That will kill though. Classic Ember. The ledge dash turnaround and sig on bow, just very effective. Kills so early. Bread and butter. And now it's another Qatar ditto. Both players seem to be very favoring of Qatars in the early levels, not wanting to build up damage with bow or with gauntlets, and instead using them to kill. Caught the dodge there. All of a sudden, Sprite in a sizable lead off of just one mistake from Pierre. No.
That no more.
Yeah. Recovered diagonally way too many times. Pierre, just knowledgeable. He knows. In the zone, no matter what, he's losing or winning. He knows how you're going to recover. Pierre, very adept at cleaning stocks up like that.
I think Sprite needs a map change, because these two Miami Dome games have been so close, and you feel like, oh yeah, no, Sprite's gonna win this one, I can look away, and then Pierre just barely clutches out the sudden death. So I feel like the character's doing well for him. Like, I don't see any need to switch off the Caspian, but I feel like a map change could be pretty make or break right here. I don't really know why or how that is, but if we go back to Miami Dome, it's going to be a little difficult to feel optimistic.
If it's your comfort map and the games were that close, he bans it. Yeah, it's a little risky to run it back. Go to Brawlhaven.
Ember or Brawlhaven might be.
Yeah, not sure as Ember I would want to run this map. Although both characters 4 defense, and Caspian with only 1 attack advantage on Ember. They're actually
Ember's signatures might be better for this map than Caspian's though.
Really? I would say the opposite. I think Ember has 1 sig that would be very good at killing, but Sprite has just a wealth of guitar side sigs and end sigs and gauntlet D sigs that can kill very early on this map. And even so, a lot of people love to talk about the blast zones of this map, but it's small. There's not a lot of space and there's no platform, so you can't run around. The game has to be much more aggressive. Sprite trying to stay on the wall, but he's already dead.
Oh my god.
Stalled for just a little too long, and Pierre, not fooled, goes down and immediately takes the stock from him, sticking to the bow. Thinks maybe he can build up a good advantage, getting some extra credit on the Ember bow. Looking good. Just running at him with weapon throws. Sprite can't find any room. Pierre just has so much stage control.
Really unfortunate. Sprite is having such a hard time in. You can see a lot of the times that Sprite would back off for a little bit and try to find himself a little bit more breathing room. This offstage engagement goes his way pretty nicely, but still, a lot of the other classes that we've seen earlier in this game were really just Pierre overpowering Sprite. You can see Sprite doesn't even really have Pierre read that well at all. This is looking pretty scary for our Soda right here.
Yeah,
our boy Lemon Lime.
Yeah, looking like Sierra Mist is going to take this one. Pierre in quite a lead. Still doable for Sprite, but he needs a weapon, and he opts to chase with unarmed. Something not a lot of players would do, but it catches Sprite off guard. Good decision, but still has so much ground to cover. The high attack will definitely help, but Pierre knows Sprite's been hugging the wall just a bit too much. The taunt comes out. He finally thinks that Sprite's just going to hug this one time, and whole stock gone. Bow ground pound, one of the best at doing it. Very fast, very early killer. Now Pierre a full stock lead. Goes for sidelight D-light. Sprite a deft with the dodge, but well, this could be a kill. A lot of people get caught out when they recover and then they chase dodge up. They still die, but Pierre awake, loses his stock, but he jumps up, he nares, and Sprite, the lead is a little smaller. Definitely looking a little bit more doable, but
I don't know if you were able to see it, but something just clicked for Sprite. He is able to comfortably commit to a lot more of these commitments and is just able to go in and get some damage in. This is looking a lot different from the first half of the game, and this is looking a little bit more hopeful for Sprite in this set overall, because just like you said, although it's just he does have to overcome a bit of a damage lead, but still, if he's just able to make this stock last as long as he possibly can while sticking up with that survivability that he was able to... Okay. Oh, you didn't have to... Pierre! You didn't have to go that hard. You didn't...
Yeah. You were right, though. I do believe that Sprite had it. He started to figure it out, and all he needed to do was win off that one stock, and maybe in games 4 and 5 he could carry the momentum, but Pierre just picks the option, the big red button, says, whatever, I'm running at you with a SIG, and it works.